Well, here to pick through the arguments for and against such a fund is Vanessa Rossi, a senior research fellow at Chatham House, a world-leading think tank on international affairs. Vanessa, thanks very much for coming in today. If we can begin with looking at this whole idea of a European monetary fund, it sounds great in practice, but in principle, but we all know in practice just how long it takes things to get done in Europe. I mean, is there any chance that a European monetary fund could be up and running in time to deal with the crisis in Greece?
Well, I think we probably know the answer to that one. Not much chance at all. But I think this is quite bizarre that throughout this crisis we've had a number of suggestions, all of which are equally bizarre, and none of which will solve Greece's problem. We've had suggestions about them selling islands, the Parthenon, you name it. But there's also perhaps more concrete economic suggestions some people have made about Greece taking a holiday from the Eurozone, and now we have this EMF idea. And all of these are totally impractical, certainly in terms of Greece's immediate funding problems, and in some cases they may even be damaging, because the confidence that's needed to rebuild the Greek finances could actually be damaged by some of these problems.
Indeed, anyone looking at this would realise that not only does it appear that it's highly unlikely that it could be put into practice, but it seems to actually be creating a split between what the Germans are saying and what the French are saying. The Germans in favour of it, France kind of saying, no, I don't think we need anything quite that structured.
I mean, we've actually got quite a peculiar sort of international gossip shop on this. Every weekend we're waiting to see whether there's some other further secret discussions or secret comments here or there. Now it's not only stopped with Europe, it's gone transatlantic as well. And I think this is even more bizarre. In a way, it's perhaps making markets more nervous. They wonder what is going on and whether there's more problems than are being described to them. Yes?
We're hearing a lot about speculation at the moment. Obviously, it's in the Greeks' interest to blame a lot of these problems on speculators. Speculation, though, surely is a symptom of Greece's financial tragedy rather than its cause.
Well, again, I think this is another bizarre way of trying to turn the story into something else. I mean, if we look back at Greece's problems, they've been there for many, many years, well before speculators had anything to do with this, and even before it joined the Eurozone. So Greece has had perennial problems with its public sector finances and also its external accounts. And we should remember that in the times before the Eurozone, it also had instability, frequent devaluations, which actually didn't help. The record for growth before the Eurozone entry was very poor indeed. So on the whole, their record since entry, in terms of the boost to the economy, has been quite good, even if we take account of what's likely now to be a quite steep recession. Greece's overall economic record has been far better under the Eurozone.
Is it possible that there could be some kind of a ban on credit default swaps, as has been mooted at the moment? It does seem highly unusual and difficult to work out when you can say a credit default swap is to do with insuring against the debt and when it is in fact speculation.
Yes, I think it's quite difficult. But also this really isn't the root of the problem, as we've just discussed. And I don't know how the American regime is going to help in this regard. It's quite difficult to interfere in international markets of this kind. But I think this is again one of these bizarre chases that's partly to do with the whole bizarre nature of the Greek problem, but also this European opinion which persists in blaming speculators and financial markets for everything that happens. This is just yet another twist in that tale of what we've heard for the last couple of years.
At the end of the day, do you think that Greece is going to need to be bailed out by somebody, or do you think the austerity measures alone are going to be enough?
Well, we're not going to find out how well the austerity measures are working for quite a few months to come. It's clear that the Europeans have now closed ranks in terms of trying to persuade everybody that these measures are going to be sufficient and will work, and Greece is working very hard at that. But back home in Greece, I think they also have some hard work to do to convince their own citizens that this is the right course. That really is a Greek affair. They have to resolve themselves how fairly they've distributed the problems, the taxation, the cuts and so forth, whether that's equitable, whether it's manageable, and they really have to get a grip on this, because this is the ultimate problem that we've had for many, many years. They simply don't get their own act together back home.
Vanessa Rossi, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning.